Through the arrangements, we can make more energy-saving machines, we can recycle the shit.
Step aside, skim milk. You're done, almond milk. There might be a new milk coming to town and it's about to crawl right into the dairy aisle at the supermarket. Cockroach milk. Scientists are saying cockroach milk could be one of the most nutritious things you can drink.
I am not a bigot. I am not a science denier. Cockroach milk is so much more sustainable and nutritious than real milk. I am a good global citizen who gets his recommended daily dosage of vitamin tHe. The planet is dying because I exist. The good grown-ups on the TV screen are trying to help us solve this #climate crisis by helping us sterilize ourselves and eat sustainable nutrient-fortified vegan kibble so our sick, sad, dying mommy Earth can feel all better. I'm going to ask my wife's boyfriend if it is socially acceptable to consume cockroach milk as an ethical vegan and animal rights activist.
Discovered cockroach milk has 4 times as much protein as cow's milk. 4 times as much.
Yes. We can do all this, no matter what we create, no matter how much we strive, whatever we build, everything is going to be insufficient, because the planet is going to be insufficient. I was in a conference and I said, see, unless you reduce the human footprint on the planet, there is no solution for anything. Then they asked me a brilliant question, how do you reduce the human footprint? I said, you have to reduce the number of feet. That's the only way. I am not saying children are bad, they're wonderful, but it's just too many. We as human beings, we are wonderful, but we are too many. We are so many that the insect population is going down. No, it's not a joke, it's very threatening. If the insect population disappears, the planet will be destroyed. Yes, the worms disappear, the planet will be destroyed. If you and me disappear, planet will flourish. Our life expectancy has improved. This means we have taken death into our hands. When we take death into our hands, it is our business to take birth also into our hands, isn't it?
I feel so empowered on my vegan climate activist hero's journey. We are all one. I am a highly evolved god who evolved from cosmic pond scum. We are all God. I am you and you are me. We're a happy family that needs to save its dying mommy from our toxic exhalations by taking #climate action now with the more evolved good grown-ups at governments, banks, and global corporations to help educate us how to get rid of ourselves and all the toxic extra human baby feet to decrease our atrocious carbon footprints and save the planet and evolution from ourselves, because we are all one.
We're standing here, for this is an emergency. We're standing here for all that we hold dear. We're standing here for beauty and diversity. And we're standing in the love that binds us all. And we demand our government must tell the truth.
Climate change tops the environmental agenda at present. We all know that every additional person will need to use some carbon energy, if only for firewood for cooking, and will therefore create more carbon dioxide. Similarly, we can all see that every extra person is or will an extra victim of climate change. I meet no one who privately disagrees that population growth is a problem. No one, except flat earthers, can deny that that planet is finite. We can all see it. in that beautiful picture from our Earth, of our Earth, taken from the Apollo mission. Every one of these global problems, social as well as environmental, becomes more difficult and ultimately impossible to solve with ever more people. Thank you.
I am so glad the good grown-ups like David Attenborough and Prince Philip, friend of philanthropist Jimmy Savile, and the father of Prince Andrew, close friend of champion of science and philanthropist Jeffrey Epstein, are helping find solutions to all the extra people who need to stop existing. The hashtag climate crisis make me so sad. The totally real death threats from the climate are so scary, and I need the good government grown-ups to fix it and give 16-year-old human shield Greta her future back.
He promoted this on television, and he went around all the agricultural shows, and he had it was a one-man thing, and it had a tremendous effect. It reduced it from 3% to 1%. But one of the things he said to the farmers, he said, look, you don't need all these children, it's ridiculous. You've got to feed them all, clothe them all, educate them all, and look after their health. So have a few, and then if you want to go on entertaining yourself, have a vasectomy. Oh, yes. Well, how do I do that? Well, I'll organize it for you. We'll have buses running into Bangkok on the King's birthday, very auspicious day. And you will go into, and he took over a whole lot of school halls and that sort of thing. And he showed me a photograph of all these beds and everything, and people went in, and I said, but how did they take it? Well, he said they didn't like being seen to have the operation. Oh, I said, really, how do you do that? I had visions of, putting up. Oh, he said, it's quite simple, I blindfolded them.
I am so glad that Jimmy Savile's royal friend, Prince Philip, is helping all the extra people to not exist anymore.
What vegan birth control method would you recommend?
Vasectomy.
Hell yeah, baby! You heard me, you heard me, you heard him!
Well, get on board. Come on.
Yes,
What do you
I love
mean?
this guy.
Why should the women have to take pills?
I feel so empowered by the vasectomy I got from Dr. Gregor. We must help governments and media educate more people on the benefits of not having families or property, not eating real meat or animal foods, and living in smart city coffin apartment cubbies.
Don't screw the planet. Don't screw the planet.
The Earth will be so happy and healthy if we eat sustainable, nutrient-fortified vegan smart kibble that the good grown-ups at the transnational banks and corporations share with us.
You see, Fred's kids are millennials. They've just surpassed baby boomers to become the largest generation in American history. And they've all been moving back to the cities. But there are only so many houses and cars that can fit in a city. And this is where the sharing economy comes in. We now have these powerful computers, smartphones, in our hands.
I love sharing and do not hate science. The good grown-up champions of science like Jeffrey Epstein and his friends Bill Gates and Prince Andrew know what's best for me and the planet. I can't wait for the nice, happy, healthy corporate global technocratic government to ration and share resources with us. I wish I could help poor 16-year-old human shield Greta Thunberg to find a carbon-neutral ride back to Europe from America so she can meddle in the elections over there and save the planet from the extra people causing the totally real and not made-up hashtag climate crisis.
That led Greta Thunberg to take to social media to call for help. She said, I've traveled around halfway around the world, but in the wrong way. And now she's looking for a way to cross back in the Atlantic by this COP25 summit now in Madrid.
We have tons of time to turn things around. Well, not tons, but enough. Assuming we all act now. Last month, we had an ant problem at my house. This is gonna sound strange, but I felt somewhat in awe of their teamwork. In fact, spire ants are experts at teamwork. They're pretty tiny, right? But when faced with large challenges like crossing a river, hundreds or thousands of fire ants can work together to build structures out of their own bodies, like rafts. As a result, they can carry the entire colony across the river. Collectively, they do what is necessary to save the entire group. We too can work together.
Rejoice. I've found a solution to Greta's transportation problem that will get her to Europe and help decrease our atrocious carbon footprint that's killing poor mommy Earth and stealing poor little Prince Philip, Greta, and Bill Gates' futures. We must use the extra people's surplus human bodies to make a giant raft that can bring this brave, 16-year-old human shield back to Europe so she can help the good grown-ups at the global banks and corporations create the happy, sustainable, totalitarian world government to fight the #climate crisis that is our fault because we exist. Nature provides the answers and the wisdom of children will guide us on our journey to sustainability on our renewable carbon-neutral giant human corpse raft.
The things humans fear most is that we will be powerful beyond our belief.
I am empowered beyond my belief to take #climate action against myself to save the planet from myself by drinking cockroach milk, eating vegan kibble, putting the pee-pee in the poo-poo, and sterilizing myself. I am not deceived. I am not being programmed to self-destruct by toxic weaponized pop culture. I'm going to ask my wife's boyfriend if this sustainable giant human corpse raft is vegan friendly.
How do you do that? I have visions of, putting up. Oh, we say it's quite simple. I blindfolded them.
We're back, bigots. We're back on YouTube at least. We've been on Rockfin. We've been doing the Rockfin thing. Rockfin never gets shut down. Isn't that cool? We don't get shut down on Rockfin. YouTube gets shut down every now and then. That's the second time I've gotten a bogus strike. Now the first strike I got on YouTube was a false copyright claim. That got sorted out. That strike was completely BS, and that got sorted out rather smoothly. It was actually from a vegan activist. Yeah, what a surprise. What a surprise. A false copyright claim from a vegan activist from an image that I used as part of the Photoshop in a video. This is about 2 years ago. And this vegan activist called himself Animal Rights Photography at gmail.com. Now, history lesson here. This vegan activist tried to blackmail me and tell me that I need to give him $500 to remove the false copyright claim, which YouTube just removed in a matter of a few weeks. But that was pretty ridiculous. So that was my first strike on this channel, completely bogus, and it got revoked. It got revoked. That person who tried to blackmail me, Animal Rights Photography at gmail.com, didn't even actually own that photo. Right? Well, it's not so clear to me, but it looked completely BS, and YouTube sided with me, of course. Now, this copyright strike was a little bit different. I got a 1-week suspension off of YouTube. My video was removed. I actually had to go through, and this channel has been it's been depopulated of so many good classic videos from the last year. Yeah, especially I think there might be a few of the streams left, but this video had to get basically cleansed of anything that YouTube would consider medical misinformation. So YouTube, first of all, let me say, screw you, YouTube. You are a freaking joke. You are an absolute joke. YouTube actually used to be awesome back in the day before Google bought it. Even Google Video used to be pretty legit back in the day when you could actually watch real documentaries about real things. You guys remember when Loose Change and all that stuff was on Google Video back in the day? That used to be pretty cool. YouTube used to be awesome. I remember when YouTube was like 10-minute maximum video length. It wasn't even that long ago. But we've been completely just completely blackballed on this platform, YouTube, for a long time now, which is why we're building up the Rockfin. So you guys, if you're watching on YouTube, you probably understand, you probably know that we got a Rockfin account as well. Pull up a tab on Rockfin. I'll put the link in the description. The link is in the description, but I'm going to put it in the live chat right now. We'll simulcasting live there over on Rockfin. Always simulcasting live on Rockfin. We've still been streaming live on Rockfin the last couple weeks. but not on YouTube because we were kicked off of it. But here we are, we're back. And you know what? I'm going to make sure that the content now on, it's not worth losing the whole channel, right? To do things that are going to get me removed from YouTube. Even though this, like, we're not saying anything on this channel that's like, medical misinformation. That's complete bullshit. In fact, what YouTube is protecting is the medical misinformation. So, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. We're going to keep the channel. I had to go through, and most of the videos from the last year are gone, but they're still on the Odyssey channel. If you're on YouTube right now and you scroll down below and you look in the description, you will see the Odyssey/library channel. That is where you can find all the content that is no longer on this channel from the last year, including tons of classics. There's some pretty good streams the last year. I gotta say, we've been going hard. Hey, but YouTube's been going just as hard at hiding this content. So anyways, we're going to focus the stuff that's on this channel on YouTube. We know the limitations. That stuff, the stuff where we go, hey, over the line of what YouTube allows, that's going against the sponsors of YouTube, the owners of YouTube, right? Big tech, biotech, turning you into biotech products. We're going to be talking about that exclusively on Rockfin. So there's a Rockfin. Yeah, YouTube sucks now, but you know what? We can still do a lot of stuff on YouTube. We can still talk about this freaking insane vegan movement, and we can continue destroying the World Economic Forum's eat the bugs, live in a pod, be a vegan activist, sterilize yourself for the animals agenda, and we can keep tearing down these delusions, these illusions, these things that want to exalt themselves above the truth. That's what we're going to keep doing over here. So YouTube channel is back. It's been a week. I know you guys have missed me so much. You guys probably, how much did you guys miss me? How much did you guys miss me? We're going to be doing, here, I'll make sure the alerts for Streamlabs, the alerts are on. Alerts are on Streamlabs, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link in the description, and there's a link in the chat. Support via the Streamlabs. We can't do super chats here. We do not want to support anything that YouTube is doing. Although YouTube will still put ads on these videos. Even though the channel does not monetize and send money to us, YouTube will still run ads. All right, but yeah, those YouTube, what's it called? The YouTube super chats. YouTube gets 30% of that. When you do it through Streamlabs, the content creator gets 100% of that. When you tip over on Rockfin, the content creator gets that. Rockfin does get a cut, but you know what? Rockfin's legit. Rockfin is legit. They actually allow us to monetize. So go over there to Rockfin. Make sure to upgrade to a subscription. Get access to all of our premium members-only content. Got a couple tips over here. The Juice on Rockfin said the Juice is here for the squeeze. Sent $2. There you go. The Juice kind of pulling ahead of the on the tip competition though over there on Rockfin. You guys remember the top tips. The top tips will be, we'll tally them up at the end. The top tippers will be given a special prize. Now, that can vary. The prize will vary. We're not sure if that prize is going to be free front row tickets to my gender-affirming fight, right? Remember, I'm a woman now. When I step into the ring with a biological woman, with a cis woman. When I step into the ring with a cis woman, we're thinking about, it might be like UFC 270, 272. It's not happening anytime soon, but front row seats to that for the top tipper, and also free COVID-19 injections for life, mandatory for the top tipper. Mick Ale tipped $20. Mick, thank you, dude. Appreciate that, man. So Mick Ale, top tipper so far on Rockfin, tipping $20. T Money Martin tipping $10. Thank you, T Money. YouTube crew, you guys got to catch up. Rockfin, they support. Show some love on YouTube too, guys. And pull up a tab on Rockfin. Check it out. Free speech over there on Rockfin. Actual free speech. Anyways, we got a lot going on. We've had a busy week, haven't we? We've had a crazy busy week. Here, where are we going to start out? We're going to start out, I believe. We'll pull up Instagram. Pull up the old Instagram. I'm still on Instagram. I got kicked off of Twitter. No more Twitter account. I have a new Twitter account, of course. I do have a new Twitter account. Is it in? Yeah. No, my old Twitter account is still in the description on YouTube. Oh, Twitter. I do miss my old Twitter account. It took me a long time to build up. But anyways, we've had so many interesting things happening lately, including
pay insufficient attention
Klaus Schwab.
to the frightening scenario
Buddy Klaus
of
Schwab.
comprehensive cyber attack.
Remember we talked about this months ago.
Bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation,
Transportation. Here, we got a better version over here on YouTube that we can actually stop and start. This transportation. The cyber attack. Who told you?
We all know.
Oops. Who told you?
Still,
Who told you
insufficient
6-7 months ago that this is what's coming
the
next?
frightening
We talked about this.
scenario
Klaus Schwab talking about the
of
cyber attack.
comprehensive
And of course,
cyber
what is the cyber
which will
attack
bring
attacking?
to a
Well, it's the
complete
very
halt
infrastructure that
to
the Great
the
Reset,
power
through the
supply,
World Economic Forum,
transportation,
right, the Great Reset being
services,
their
our society as a
rebranding
whole.
of Fourth Industrial Revolution,
COVID-19
takeover
crisis
technology,
would be
surveillance
seen
tech,
in this
right, from the
respect
nano
as a
level
small
to the macro
disturbance
level,
in
right? Surveillance
comparison
tech everywhere ubiquitously
major
through
cyber
telecommunications, industry
use
infrastructure, aka
the
5G,
COVID-19
and then
crisis
also
as a
nanotech,
timely
right? Surveillance tech in
opportunity
your very
to reflect
body,
on the lessons of
intracellular
cybersecurity,
even.
community,
These people have discussed. And Klaus Schwab, in his book, The
and
Fourth Industrial
improve our
Revolution,
preparedness
talks about all this
for
stuff.
potential
It talks about a
cyber
smart
attack.
pill developed by Proteus Biomedical and Novartis has a biodegradable digital device attached to it which transmits data to your phone
For comprehensive
on how the
cyber
body is interacting with the medication.
to a complete halt.
And this would be so great. Imagine swarms
Transportation
of these attacking early cancer, bringing pain relief or to a wound, or even storing critical personal information in a manner that is deeply encrypted and hard to hack. With smart dust, doctors will be able to act inside your body without opening you up, and information could be stored in you, deeply encrypted, until you unlock it from your very personal nano network. Because you're going to have control over this. This is liberation. We will liberate you. We're going to liberate you. Not only are we going to liberate you, the promise that's given by the World Economic Forum through the Fourth Industrial Revolution technology, through having technical appendages attached to your body, inside your body, and full global government surveillance all outside of your body is, of course, guess what? You're gonna live forever, bro, and we're gonna you're gonna cure all illnesses or whatever.
Our society as a whole.
Because that's what it's all about. It's about empowering us, right? It's about empowering you. And Klaus Schwab, he cares so much. He just cares so much. That's why he warned you about this 7 months ago, that we're going to have this the cyber attack. And first we had the cyber attack that was concerning the Colonial Pipeline. Very dubious, never shown any proof, right? These very dubious companies, they come out and they say, oh, there was a cyber attack on our infrastructure and we had to shut down. We weren't able to move fuel. And this created kind of a little bit of fuel panic and whatnot. People weren't able to get their fuel. But oh, how great. How great, because, of course, the World Economic Forum has been pushing for carbon taxes. They've been pushing for a transition to what they call green tech, which is electric vehicles and an electric vehicle grid and ultimately autonomous vehicles where we don't even have access or ability to drive ourselves. Right? What they've told us this in so many different ways. And they've utilized the city in Israel as the first test bed for this autonomous vehicle technology, and they've even offered to buy all of the private vehicles from all the citizens, all the good global citizens in this city in Israel, to create the autonomous vehicle grid. They tell you it's autonomous. Oh, it's autonomous. It's not autonomous. They're centrally controlled by the state, and you're not allowed to use this infrastructure, of course, if you don't do certain things. Guess what those certain things are going to be? Right, you're going to have behaviorist passports, where you're going to have to jump through certain behaviorist hoops and perhaps have things like medical procedures that you may or may not have accepted if you didn't get coerced into it, because the smart city grid won't allow you to access resources and services which don't belong to you, in their smart city future that is planned. The Agenda 2030, it's 2030, you own nothing, as the World Economic Forum's now finally famous article that we've been talking about for 5 years here. Since it came out, we've been reading passages from Ida Auken's article of the World Economic Forum's website, which they changed the title of. It's 2030. I own nothing. I have no privacy. But I'm so happy. Oh, it's 2030. I don't own anything. I don't even own the clothes on my back. And the AI knows exactly what I want to eat and what I need to eat before I even know. The AI knows what I need before I know. And it helps me to be happy. The AI tells me when I'm happy, and the AI tells me when I'm not happy and gives me my happy injections. The AI doesn't even need to give me injections anymore. We have smart dust in our smart cities. We breathe the smart dust in the air, and it helps the AI gods to quantify if we are using too much carbon and measure our hormone levels and see if we have too much toxic masculinity in our blood. That's why I talk like this. My toxic masculinity has been transformed. I'm now human. Every month is Pride Month in the smart city. We have so much pride in our city. That was all an exact quote. No, I'm kidding. This is what it is. It's about hurting you in the smart cities. It's about controlling resources. It's about getting you off of what they call fossil fuels, which is a lie. These things are not, you're not burning dinosaur bones in your cars. Newsflash, guys. That's not Tyrannosaurus Rex. That's not T-Rex and Velociraptor bone marrow in the gas tank of my truck. Okay? Sorry, guys. And these people know that. These people know that there's more than enough oil in Texas alone to feed more than enough of the needs for fuel that the United States requires for an indefinite period of time. But it's not about saving the planet. It's about control. So they tell you lies like, oh, these are autonomous vehicles. We'll give you autonomous vehicles in the smart city. Don't you want to be smart and autonomous and liberated? Don't you want to be smart and autonomous? So here's what Klaus Schwab said. Remember, I think this was even before December 19th, 2020, when this person put this video up. What was it, 7 months ago? And we've been talking about this since then. No, who saw this coming? They shut down the Colonial Pipeline, and then they shut down JBS, which we're going to talk about in a second.
Pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospitals, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis is seen in this respect as the smallest films in comparison to a major cyber attack. To use the COVID-19 crisis as a timely opportunity to reflect on the lessons the cybersecurity community can draw and improve our preparedness for a potential cyber pandemic.
Ooh, how nice. He just cares. He cares too much. He just loves you too much. He has so much love to give. He has so much love, he doesn't know where to put it. Like Quiz Kid Donnie in Magnolia. I am Klaus Schwab, and I have so much love to give. I do not know where to put it. When you gotta get Klaus Schwab in the movie Magnolia, the bar scene with Quiz Kid Donnie, when he's wasted drunk, and that weird-looking pedophile guy that was in the movie The Burbs tells him, what does he tell him? He's like, you confuse love with, what's that line? There's some good lines in that movie, Magnolia, from the P.T. Anderson film. The best lines are from Tom Cruise in that movie. We need Klaus Schwab as Tom Cruise in Magnolia. Respect the cock and time the cunt. That's what you need. We need like a deep fake series of Klaus Schwab in like in famous movie roles. Klaus Schwab as Tom Cruise in Magnolia. Frank T. Mackey. Respect the cock and tame the cunt. Or what else could you have? You could have you have Klaus Schwab in as Matthew McConaughey. Klaus Schwab as Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused. Say, man, you got a joint? It'd be a lot cooler if you did. It'd be a lot cooler if you did. What else? Klaus Schwab as Daniel Plainview in There Will Be Blood. I have a competition in me. I want no one else to succeed. I'm finished. Okay. Klaus Schwab as Bill the Butcher in Gangs of New York. How about that? Klaus Schwab. That's what you need. Klaus Schwab as Bill the Butcher in Gangs of New York. I took you under my wing, and this is how you repay me. All right, that's enough. I drink your milkshake. I drink your cockroach milkshake. I drink it up. I drink your cockroach milkshake up. Or Klaus Schwab as Tommy Lee Jones in the last scene of There's No Country for Old Men. But he just yells all the lines where Tommy Lee Jones is like shaking and he's sitting there in that really powerful scene. We talk about his dream. I see my father over there in all that darkness. Okay. I'll shut up. Look at these tips. Look at Rockfin. Look at lazy ass YouTube. Look at you lazy ass YouTube crew. This throttled ass YouTube channel on this dead ass YouTube platform versus Rockfin, where Rockfin actually, look at Rockfin supporting. Big support from Rockfin. What's up, guys? ELC tip $50. ELC is top bigot so far. Bigot for life. There you go. Honorary bigot for life. ELC tip $50 says veganism is a disease, and we, with God's help, are the cure. Christ is risen. Veganism can be cured. Thank you very much, ELC. And you're right. Veganism can be cured so quickly. You know what the cure for veganism is? Is a ribeye steak. A ribeye steak. Veganism is its own cure. Also, it burns itself out. It drinks its own milkshake. Adrian Plaza tip $5. Thank you, Adrian. Badger Wise tip $2, and then John McGann tipping $10 over there. Gracias, señors. Gracias, señors. You guys on YouTube over there. You guys better catch up with them Streamlabs. Catch up with them Streamlabs. What else is going on, guys? We got so much happening. Now. Like, all right, so this is what I really wanted to get into. We'll skip all the World Economic Forum stuff, and we're gonna jump into the vegan activists. We got to get to the vegan activists. Where are there they are. Okay. The vegan activists have been giving us so much, and proving our points. Like what's happened in the last 3 years, we've been documenting all this. We take little breaks from even mentioning the vegan activists, especially the YouTube vegan activists. They're a sensitive bunch. They're a very sensitive bunch. I mean, I get vegan activists on YouTube, like the new slew that have just come around to becoming vegan activists. And by vegan activists, I mean people with vegan in their name on Instagram and YouTube. And by activism, I mean commenting angrily, hangrily on my posts constantly. This is about the extent of most of their activism. But no, we got a new crop of vegan activists, including NBA star DeAndre Jordan, who's just total grassroots thing. He just totally wanted to host a new vegan cooking show, right? Like I love it. I for one think this is fantastic, especially during Pride Month. right? I think this is awesome. Fighting toxic masculinity, smashing gender role bias, right? This is good. This is a good thing. Look at this man. Look at DeAndre. He loves, look how, I wish somebody would look at me as lovingly as DeAndre Jordan looks at that just egg in his hand right there, which contains no egg at all. Basically, it's just soy and preservatives and various industrial chemicals. Factory-made eggs. What a hero here. Brooklyn Nets star center, hit the star center. DeAndre Jordan is putting veganism in the spotlight. Wow, he cares about the animals. This man cares so much about the animals. He could be making money right now, but instead, he's going into a studio, right? That was probably used by Dr. Berg or Thomas DeLauer. The studio may have been used by Ellen DeGeneres. May have been used by Chelsea Handler. Might have smeared her disgusting ass all over the chairs in this studio right before he left it. But he could be making millions of dollars. Instead, he's over there making probably hundreds of thousands of dollars supporting the animals. And this is a good thing. DeAndre, vegan meals, right? So this is just grassroots, right? Promoting plant-based diets, right? So cool. He's putting veganism in the spotlight and hosting his own plant-based cooking show called Cooking Clean on Players TV. Cooking clean, right? Because clean is not eggs that you can have in your own backyard. It's not chickens, which we've got that produce eggs right here. All they require is local food input that's grown right here in the valley that we live in to produce those eggs that give you a complete nutrient profile, protein and fat, all the essential amino acids, all the essential fatty acids that you require in a perfect balance that's just completely easily digestible without the need for any pesticides, transport, or machines and factories to produce. No, that's outdated. That's the past, right? The future is science. And he believes in science. And science has given him just egg. You see how much better? Look how much more sustainable that is than my chickens that make eggs. This is like chickens, except with all the dirty stuff. It comes in plastic, right? With preservatives. This is healthy. This is good. This is the future. It's gender neutral also, just egg, right? Notice there's no A's or O's. It's just a U, just egg. It contains no egg, so you know it's good. You know it's good for the planet. You know it's good for your body, of course. The show premiered on May 30th and features a cast of guest chefs that work with Jordan to cook up delicious vegan meals. Following 13 seasons of NBA basketball, Jordan has decided to show the world how a pro athlete fuels up on a plant-based diet. He was like, you know what? Can somebody please get me with a television crew into a studio, into a fake kitchen in a studio in LA? Oh no, in New York. He's a Brooklyn Jet and Brooklyn Nets star. Can somebody just get me into a studio and help me make videos showing how professional athletes eat highly processed fake egg replacements instead of real foods? Because that's how you stay healthy. That's how you get tall. And that's how you get good at basketball. He says, "You see me finish plenty of plays on the court," Jordan said on the show. "But here on Players TV, those alley-oops will be coming from some of my favorite chefs around the country." DeAndre. So here, look at this hero.
What's up, my people? I'm DeAndre Jordan, NBA veteran center. After 13 seasons in the NBA, you learn the importance of taking care of your body. In 2018, I converted to a full-on plant-based lifestyle. You can pretty much say I'm an expert plant-based chef now.
He's an expert. In 2018, when did he retire? Is he retired? This guy must have retired several years ago. There's no way he's playing in the NBA with that big old heavy weed.
Some of my favorite chefs from around the country. 8 amazing chefs, 8 phenomenal recipes. Join us as we'll teach you to make some of the most delicious plant-based meals you'll find anywhere. I only have one question. Are you ready to cook clean?
Clean. This is clean. Clean cooking. That's clean cooking, guys. Wow. And look at these activists. American Girl. American Girl dolls celebrate vegan activist Genesis Butler. Genesis Butler. I like that name. That's a great name for a vegan activist. Genesis Butler. American Girl dolls. Like this is grassroots, guys. This is not the man doesn't want you to know, right? The man doesn't want you to understand that this truly grassroots and not fake and co-opted corporate movement for plant-based kibble is it's powerful. It's so powerful that young activists like American Girl, who've been, you guys remember the American Girl dolls? My little sister had one when I was a kid. They were huge, right? Okay, I had one. Fine. I had 3. Okay? I had them all. Jessica had one. I still have Jessica's. I snuggle it. American Girl dolls celebrate vegan activist Genesis Butler. Vegan youth activist Genesis Butler is featured in American Girl's Conversations for Change series to help empower and motivate young girls. This is good. I can't wait till they have a Greta Thunberg doll, right? Like they need a Greta Thunberg American Girl doll. Why don't they have a trans doll? Why don't they have a trans vegan doll? Hey, you got a trans vegan right here, American Girl. I'm also a woman now. And I'm looking for a gender affirming boxing match. Genesis Butler. Huh? What do you think? You think I could take Genesis Butler in a boxing match? Definitely. For sure. My wife's so supportive now. This Earth Month, popular doll brand. This is April. This was last month. 2 months ago. This is old news. This is Earth Month. Right now it's Pride Month. Okay? Pride Month. And that's supposed to be a good thing, remember? Pride is now a virtue, apparently. Even like the one of the root sins and the root causes of degeneracy, destruction, and removal of mankind from alignment with the will of God, pride. This is supposed to be a good thing now. Remember that, guys. And these people that tell you this is a good thing, they just care about you and the planet and like equality or whatever. This Earth Moon, popular doll brand American Girl is celebrating vegan teen activist. I like that. Genesis Butler. So maybe when she turns 18, she'd be down to step into the ring. We'll do a little gender-affirming boxing match for charity. Be on the undercard for Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul 3. Right? Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather, round 3. That fight will be about as real as the vegan movement. So this is part of their Conversations for Change series. Yeah, use your outside voice. Climate change honors Butler alongside youth environmental activists Iris Zahn, 17-year-old co-founder of Fridays for Future Digital, an organization committed to increasing the impact of the climate movement through digital actions and campaigns. Because this is just powerful grassroots activism. It's so powerful that they're pushing for digital campaigns, digital activism. That's the new thing. Powerful, huh? Yeah, I mean, and we're supposed to believe that this is somehow some like grassroots. Like this is so grassroots. It's ridiculous, man. We're fighting the man. We're rebels. We're Extinction Rebellion. We're the animal rebellion. We're rebels for the animals, and that's why we are now staging sit-ins. Sit-ins for the animals. McDonald's protests. Rebels continue to stage mixed sit-ins across the UK. So again, like mixed sit-ins. Oh man. This is so powerful. Vegans are going and sitting at McDonald's and they're demanding change. By sitting in McDonald's. Rebels continue to stage McSit-ins by going to McDonald's and purchasing plant-based burgers. That's going to be in a few months, right? No, but right now it's, we need plant-based foods at McDonald's. They say there's an animal holocaust. And this is how they're going to stop it. With sit-ins, McSit-ins, and their McActivism McDonald's. The group, which is an arm of the environmental organization Extinction Rebellion, says it will, quote, keep up the pressure until its demand is met. So, of course, you would expect really good, hard-hitting activism from Extinction Rebellion, funded through Avaz, right? Huge amounts of money coming from big tech, from big corporations, from like the Wellcome Trust. Wasn't the Wellcome Trust one of the big funders of that? All this corporate and NGO money going in and pushing Extinction Rebellion as some sort of a climate activism flashpoint, right? They're gonna stop the man from polluting the planet. They're like the kids in Captain Planet. That's what they are. Extinction Rebellion and the so-called Animal Rebellion. They're just like that. They get together. They sit in McDonald's with their American Girl dolls, with their Genesis Butler American Girl dolls. They sit there and they bring Beyond Burgers as a sign of protest. They bring the Bill Gates funded Beyond Burgers into McDonald's and they put an Animal Rebellion sign on their back. They sew it into their $100 hoodies that look just like a $20 hoodie, but that's why it's so cool, because it's a $100 hoodie that you pay $100 for, but it looks just like an old-ass $20 hoodie that you bought 10 years ago. But you don't have to wear it for 10 years to get the look of somebody who's wearing a hoodie that's 10 years old, because you don't own anything that's 10 years old. You're not going to wear that pleb shit. So anyways, you sit there with your Beyond Burger, your Genesis Butler American Girl doll, and you tell them, we demand that you put Beyond Burgers, that you put Bill Gates' Beyond Burgers in here, or we won't drink your milkshake. Okay? We will drink your milkshake under the table, and it's going to be cockroach milk, not real milk, because real milk is bad. Cockroach milk is good. Luckily, this article's reading time is under a minute. Thank you, Plant-Based News, for telling us reading time under a minute. Of course, Plant-Based News, they're owned by this grassroots activist, Prince Khalid. Yeah, they call him His Royal Highness Prince Khalid. They changed this article. That's funny. We used to, that was like 2 years ago, we would make fun of them. We used this article. They updated it, and they removed His Royal Highness Prince Khalid. Isn't that funny? We used to make fun of you dorks at Plant-Based News. I know you guys watch. Klaus from Plant-Based News. We know you guys watch this. Don't worry, you have so much money behind you. You have so much money behind you, it doesn't matter that we call you out to you, right? You got billionaire bucks, right? We barely even get support from our audience. YouTube hides our videos. Don't worry, Plant-Based News. You don't have to keep changing the content of your articles that we make fun of. Philanthropist and PBN co-owner Khalid bin Al-Walid will be opening a vegan restaurant in London. He's a philanthropist, guys. This is what philanthropists do. They buy YouTube channels and fake grassroots YouTube activists like Plant-Based News. This is what philanthropists do. Just like, Bill Gates was a philanthropist. Of course, Jeffrey Epstein, before he was arrested the last time in 2019, if you looked at his Wikipedia page, he was also a philanthropist. Bill Gates is a philanthropist. All the billionaires. John D. Rockefeller Sr. Rockefeller Sr. was a philanthropist. Of course, David Rockefeller was a philanthropist. Just like Jimmy Savile, another philanthropist. Right? The BBC told us that Jimmy Savile was a philanthropist for a long time. So here's the owner of Plant-Based News.
I want to kick off by asking you to walk
Saudi Prince.
Prince
Khalid.
Focus on today, because you're really an impact investor.
Sure. I'm not necessarily an impact investor, rather than investing in companies that really do make an impact, but they have to generate a return. So our first goal, obviously, is that the company has to be making money or should make money in the future. To me, it'll be philanthropy, more or less. So we're really focused on companies that really solve problems that the world is going through right now. And one of these problems, actually one of the biggest problems right now that we're facing is global warming. So the third most impactful industry is the animal agriculture industry. And we have to just find a better way to source protein for people. And that's why we focused on some companies like Memphis Meats and other companies like Geltor and Turtle Labs, Turtle Tree Labs and other companies to really focus on specific areas in that industry. But we're also focused on other industries, obviously, like manufacturing, like AI, software, retail. But this is, for me, that's my passion, obviously.
Where do you see the biggest opportunities within this kind of space, particularly with regards to the food industry? Because you have a lot of folks now focused on companies like Beyond Meat, for example. So there are opportunities, but in terms of monetizing them, is it all about the taste? Is it all about the access?
That's a great question. So the taste obviously plays a number one role for me. If it doesn't taste good, nobody's going to buy it. But more importantly, if it tastes good, or even if it tastes the same or better, if it costs the same or even less, if it has no impact on the environment or very little impact rather than the traditional agriculture, then people are going to flock to it. And this is what we're seeing slowly but surely what's going to happen with Beyond Meat, and slowly but surely what's going to happen with Memphis Meats and others. Their price point is going to go...
because the plan is now, what the World Economic Forum, what the UN have been talking about for so long, is increasing the price of real meat, subsidizing these fake green meats, right? They're green, they're clean, just like that guy. Clean vegan. They want to call it lab-grown meat. They want to call it clean meat. The goal is to increase the price of real meat dramatically, which is this is what they're doing. This is why they're shutting down these meat processing facilities like JBS, which is a transnational corporate, huge company, right? JBS, based out of Brazil. They're one of the 4 big meat packers, right? The big 4 meat packers in the U.S. that control 80% of the meat processing industry in the continental U.S. They determine the price of meat. They determine the sale price at auction of cattle, which they buy from ranchers, then fatten them up on the grain. And Cargill being one of the big 4 that runs, I think it's like 50% of the grain trade internationally now. I think it used to be 40%, but I think it's upwards of almost 50%. I could be wrong there. They eat they eat up a huge portion of that grain trade market. Cargill also is, I'm going to sit on that soon. Cargill is also one of the big 4 meat packers. Right? They make money off of plant-based meats, more so. Right? More profit gets made off of the fake meat. More profit gets made off of the fake meat than it does off of real meat. Right? So you're slowly phasing out rural people, destroying rural areas, destroying people's ability to produce food on their own land, taxing the heck out of these foods so that these fake meats end up cheaper. Right? That's what these people are doing. So anyways, Prince Benoit Wally, we're not going to spend too much time with him, but this is his KBW Ventures, heavily invested in Square, and heavily invested in Beyond Meat. Also, they own Plant-Based News, which is that joke of a channel, their YouTube channel, as well as a website, a propaganda website, PR website for companies like Beyond Meat. And of course, they talk about vegan activism, right? The people that run it, the useful idiots, Klaus and whatever his friends' names are, that actually run it, are just fools. They consider themselves activists. Look, they're also invested in pharmaceutical and health-based companies, biotech companies, sustainable development, rainbow-colored SDG logo right there in the Canada Health thing, developing so-called next-generation rapid point-of-care system intended to be used for allergy testing in humans. So these are diagnostic tools. Right? All these companies are very involved in biotech, tools for measuring various parts of the human organism, surveillance tech. Okay, so this is his company, KBW Ventures. This is his dad, the dwarf-throwing billionaire who's buying up America. Tales of the mysterious Saudi Prince Al-Walid. This guy sold a yacht to Donald Trump. A yacht that was used in a Bond film. What Bond film was that? I don't think we've seen it. Bond film from like late 70s or early 80s. So anyways, this is who's running these media campaigns for these so-called activists, right? These animal rights so-called activists. And this is their activism now. Like, this is how pathetic it's become. This is how obviously co-opted and pathetic this is at this point. Animal rights campaigners stage mixed sit-in at city center McDonald's. Members of Stoke-on-Trent Animal Rights and Animal Rebellion want the chain to go plant-based. So that's what it is now. That's their activism. Sell us plant-based kibble. Sell us plant-based kibble, dude. We're activists, bro. I just want like plant-based kibble. It's so much better. Animal rights campaigners staged a McSit-in protest in a McDonald's restaurant in a bid to persuade the fast food giant to go vegan. And this is the Stoke Sentinel UK website. 9 protesters, right? And there's like 10 articles on this. 9 protesters sat in a McDonald's and said, we demand you give us plant-based kibble. We want fake meat instead. We want Beyond Meat. Give us the Bill Gates fake meat McDonald's. This is activism now. This is how beyond dumb these beyond activists, the McActivists have become. Right? They're pushing. They have no idea that they are dupes for these transnational corporations. They have no idea, but this is their activism. Check it out. They sit at McDonald's and eat their plant-based foods and had some pictures taken of them. So who organized this? I don't know. Look at these ads on the stupid website. I can't even see the body of the web of the. All right. So participants who brought in a plant-based feast, including vegan pasties, sandwiches, sausage rolls, and crisps, said their issue. This is so British. Crisps. What the hell are pasties?
I thought they were those little things women put over their nipples.
So Jessica said they brought in those things that women put on their nippies.
That's what I thought.
Those little McDorks. They put in little vegan pasties to put on their McNippies. Little McSandwiches and vegan sausage rolls and crisps. You brought the plant-based crisps. Said their issue was with the company rather than McDonald's staff or customers, and that the protest remained good-natured. A spokesperson for the group said, we were really pleased with how the event went. 9 activists took part in the sit-in for an hour, a whole hour. They sat there for an entire hour and ate their plant-based food. This is power. I don't know if you guys understand. This is groundbreaking stuff here. This is worth the 20 articles that people wrote about this. Who's paying for these articles, right? We informed staff of our intentions to occupy seats at McDonald's and eat plant-based kibble as part of our campaign to let McDonald's know that they cannot continue causing such devastation to the planet and millions of animals killed every year for food. The protest was aimed towards the company and not the staff or customers, and all activists remained polite, good-natured, and focused. If anyone would like further information, you can check out Animal Rebellion on social media. These are, as you know what, I think Plant-Based News did a fantastic job of covering this. McDonald's protest rebels continue to stage McSit-ins across the UK. 9 rebels. Okay, well, don't say 9, just say rebels. You guys want to be a rebel? Go sit in McDonald's and demand that they sell you plant-based Bill Gates food. That's truly rebellious. They sat there for an entire hour. Can you imagine the poor staff? This staff at this restaurant had to be around these vegans for an entire hour. Like how many times do you think the staff got told that they were vegan when they were there? How many times do you think each vegan told them, I'm vegan, by the way? Yeah, we know. So these are McSit-ins. This is powerful, guys. McSit-ins. What a freaking joke. You got another one. Live McSit-in at Hanley McDonald's as animal rights campaigners stage protests. Yeah, you got that stage protest part right, didn't you? Demonstration at Hanley McDonald's to encourage chain to go plant-based. This is just amazing. Look at that. Extinction is forever. They always use this kind of aesthetic of extinction, the idea of extinction. And they do these fake die-ins where a bunch of people, well, like usually young girls, lay on the ground and put fake blood on themselves and stuff. It's a very strange, demonic aesthetic that they kind of go about with these McSit-ins and these McDie-ins and whatnot. So all these articles about these animal rights activists. We also got the funeral march in Lisbon. About 100 protesters participated today in a, quote, funeral march in defense of animal rights, an initiative that takes place annually around the world and which took place for the first time in Portugal and Lisbon. So another organization called Our Planet, theirs too. This initiative called NARD. Called NARD. Yeah. It very conveniently rhymes with TARD. The National Animal Rights Day is intended to protest against the, quote, exploitation and treatment of animals as objects. So this is just this powerful activism, guys. In the UK, that's fine. They're going to cover this, but none of these news organizations will cover the millions of people protesting against lockdowns, restrictions, possible behaviorist injection passports. And even the Queen confirming new measures for animal protection in the UK. All right, moving towards this idea of, where did it go? There you go. Recognizing animal sentience. Animal sentience. Remember, this is a big thing in the vegan movement, the idea of sentience, right? Something that they can't define, they can't measure, but they want to base their whole moral claim, their whole worldview on this idea of animal sentience. You cannot kill animals because they are sentient. This is your brain on atheism. This is your brain on atheism. These people will protest to starve themselves. And of course, the Queen. The Queen is so concerned about animal rights, right? She's going to stop the exportation of live animals for slaughter. Ooh, so there you go. Restricting the movement of animal foods, choking off people's ability to produce those foods, and then eventually what the vegan animal rights activists actually want is to recognize animals as persons, to give them legal personhood. And we covered this for a couple of years now. I think it was like 2 years ago that this party came out, this political party in Australia, asking for personhood for animals. Remember, in Saudi Arabia, where Prince Khalid, the owner of Plant-Based News and a partial owner of Beyond Meat, big investor in lab-grown meat, also his father has thousands of taxidermied hunted animals, rare African animals, all over his palatial estate. Right? His dad owns palaces. That the money that he's using comes. This is Saudi royalty. Who knows what else these people are involved in? A lot of people watching this know what type of other things these people are involved in, but very, very dubious people. Very dubious people here. This guy, of course, pushing for animal rights, and in his country, Saudi Arabia, they gave human rights and personhood, legal personhood, to a robot, Sophia the robot, giving this AI robot, so-called AI, which is a total psyop. We're going to have to do a show just on the AI psyop. Who am I going to have on for that? We got to have a guest for that one. That'll be a good one. So giving personhood to a robot, Sophia the robot, from Hanson Robotics, developed by Ben Goertzel, another guy who just completely weird, genocidal, in fact, atheist worldview, materialist, kind of Gnostic worldview. Right, that we're going to transcend matter by uploading ourselves into this digital reality, and we'll be able to control everything. We're going to become gods, he says. He thinks he's going to become a god. Ben Goertzel, who Sophia the robot was given human personhood, was given legal personhood in Saudi Arabia, became a citizenship in Saudi Arabia. That guy, Ben Goertzel, totally connected to transhumanism. Of course, veganism is getting pushed by all these transhumanists, all these people pushing the fourth industrial revolution, people pushing for global control over artificial intelligence, so-called artificial intelligence, which are just giant behaviorist control grids run by algorithms on behalf of global corporations and global banking interests, who literally think that they're going to be gods. They're going to become as gods. And they'll sell you on it as you're going to become gods as well. That's what they tell you. You're going to become as gods. You're going to become as gods. So yeah, legal personhood for animals being pushed for. Recognizing animal sentience is one step along the way, and these vegan activists know this. Of course, you go to the definition of veganism. They've changed it. We've been criticizing these vegan activists for so long. It seems like they did change the definition of veganism about 4 times in the last couple years. Now, veganism currently, their definition, which they're changing it all the time. says veganism is a philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude as far as is possible and practicable, which that language makes no sense. Possible and practicable? Who decides what's possible? Who decides what's practicable? But anyways, possible and practicable, all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose, and by extension promotes the development and use of animal-free alternatives for the benefit of animals. Excuse me. Animal-free alternatives for the benefit of animals. So that's beyond meat. So veganism, the definition of veganism from the Vegan Society, they now include the clause that, oh yeah, we support industrial kibble. Okay, animal-free alternatives for the benefit of animals, humans, and the environment. In dietary terms, it denotes the practice of dispensing with all products derived wholly or partly from animals. Now, they changed the definition. Here's their definition. June 2019. Veganism is a way of living which seeks to exclude as far as is possible and practicable all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. Notice that they've added, by extension, promotes the development of use of animal-free alternatives for the benefit of animals, humans, and the environment. So now it's about animals, humans, and the environment. I'm trying to find when they changed it. We explored this before. Let's see. Now let's go over to a different date and see how they've changed it. They've changed it plenty of times throughout the last couple years on the website here, the Vegan Society. How funny though. So they've added a clause, so the definition of veganism as defined by the Vegan Society includes the promotion of Bill Gates' lab-grown meat, of World Economic Forum's Fourth Industrial Revolution lab tech, precision fermentation meat, fake meat. But they just care so much about the animals. They care so much about the animals. And their investors care so much too, right? Bill Gates cares. Saudi royals care. McAl tipping $2. Look at that. McAl tipped $2 and just threw it over the edge. There you go. Rockfin. We got tippers on Rockfin. Tip $2 says let's get it to $100 and Juan. $100 and Juan. Thank you very much, McAl. Tipping that $2. Check in on the chat over here on Rockfin. You guys are awesome on Rockfin. You guys love it. You guys love this channel. You guys are supporting always, and that's what we appreciate. We appreciate you guys' support. This channel doesn't exist without you guys. This channel barely exists on YouTube anymore. But this will continue over there on Rockfin, where we can talk openly, where we can say what we want. Talk about exactly what's happening. Yeah, Mikhail's mentioning the city of Neom, which is the new smart city over there in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is on the forefront of bringing about this new Fourth Industrial Revolution. It says it's being built on Mount Sinai, which is where Moloch was once worshipped. Yeah, I mean, the Saudi Arabia is quite keen on this Fourth Industrial Revolution tech. What's up, YouTube? Look at the YouTube. It's still so so throttled on YouTube. I almost said slaughtered. So throttled on YouTube. What's up with that? Well, at least we got the awesome mods over there. Mod Squad on YouTube. What's up, Dangerfield? We had OK in there earlier. There's OK. What's going on, everybody? Guys, if you like the streams, make sure to support. Jump over there to Rockfin. I think we're gonna probably do the second half exclusive to Rockfin. How about that? Second half of this is gonna be exclusive on Rockfin. We'll go a little bit deeper into this stuff. Don't have to bite our tongues over on Rockfin. It's just a better platform in general. It's a better platform, and they actually allow us to monetize. So here, let me put in the link for the Rockfin channel, and make sure to support via the Streamlabs, guys, over there on YouTube. If you like the streams, support the dang streams. I'll put the link for the Streamlabs in on Rockfin as well. Sometimes people say that I got to get that link for Rockfin in there, or for the Streamlabs on Rockfin. Here you go. Yeah, look at all these people on Rockfin. Got almost as many viewers on Rockfin as we do on YouTube, but that'll jump up. All the YouTube viewers, let's go over to Rockfin in a few minutes, yeah? Maybe do another 20 or so minutes on YouTube. Let's go over there to Rockfin. It's just more fun over there. Don't have to bite our tongues. So anyways, yeah, the Vegan Society, bringing about a new definition of veganism. Changing the definition constantly. So, how nice. And then we got another great Another group of brave, stunning vegan activists over here. This video says Vegan Gain supports killing predators. Now, of course, we've discussed, and we've had several discussions with Vegan Gains on this channel. Big shout out to Richard. Richard over there on Vegan Gains. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. I'm Richard. I'm Vegan Gains. It's like when you look at the star vegan activists online, like their actual fruits, their lifestyle, what they actually live like, what they believe, it's kind of shocking. And it's not shocking for us. We've been kind of documenting the madness of the vegan worldview for so long, exposing these people for the anti-human, complete freaking weirdos that some of these people are. So it's no shock to us, but it gets weirder and weirder with some of these people. So again, here, let me pull up this video. This video's on a clip pulled from my channel. Let's hear the female perspective, right? Prospective mother. Let's hear what she has to say to Vegan Gains on this.
The kid is going to change her life. Although I would have to say there's parents that just, leave their kids.
We got double Tristan on the screen right now. Sorry, guys. Let's use the proper term here, Stephanie Gerard. Let's use the proper term. Threats. They're not children. They're not kids. They're threats.
Motherhood or fatherhood, thing in their veins also, and I think that not everyone is fit to be a parent.
Yeah. Richard, so, can you come back in and talk to him about the...
Yeah, somebody wanted to ask me about my position on bodily autonomy and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I actually had a question. So, weird hypothetical. Have you heard of the, was it like the violinist thing?
Yeah. Judith Jarvis Thompson, the journalist who made that argument, yeah.
Okay, so what would you say your position is? Like, if someone was like connected to you via like...
Yeah, you should be able to fucking kill them.
You should be able to kill them?
No, yeah. It's always these like completely weird and insane hypotheticals, but here you go. Here's what we get to. Vegan Gains says eggs are murder. Eggs are murder, but of course, unborn human babies, they're just things to be slaughtered. And so here you go.
Able to kill them?
Yeah.
Even if like you're the one who, like to analogize it to like pregnancy, even though you're the one who brought them in that situation, it's okay to kill them?
Yeah, absolutely. You should be able to do whatever the fuck you want with your own body.
Okay, well, alright.
Well, like, dude, if you invite somebody into your house and then you're like, okay, well, it's getting late, leave, and then they don't want to leave, and you have to escalate things to using violent force, should you be able to shoot and kill them? I think so.
I see that as a disanalogy, though.
No, that's not disanalogy.
You can invite someone into your house. The Vegan Gains world here again. This is your brain on atheism. This is your brain on nihilism. Any questions? You should be able to invite someone into your house, and if they don't want to leave, even though you invited them in your house, you could just kill them. Vegan Gains says. So here's another.
Honestly, I just really lack reverence for human life, and anything that we do that just prevents more children from being born, I'm kind of in favor of. I kind of just want to kill children.
Well, we can slaughter, we don't have to slaughter them. If that's the case, we don't have to slaughter them while they're in the womb. We can just slaughter babies. If it was legal to do that, just newborn babies, to just put them in the grinder like we do with the male chicks.
Yeah, you know what, I think I'd...
Again, these are the great vegan philosophers. These are actually people that these so-called activists rather look up to. This is Vegan Gains, philosopher king Vegan Gains.
Be okay with that.
Okay.
I actually wish my parents had done that to me.
Okay, so just so we're...
Right, let's go.
Yeah, you know what, I think... Yeah, you know what, I think I'd kind of...
Sorry.
Just newborn babies, to just put them in the grinder like we do with the male chicks.
Yeah, you know what, I think I'd kind of be okay with that.
Okay.
I actually wish my parents had done that to me.
Okay, so just so we're clear, I just want this to be fully clear to everyone, as well as just internally, registering this for yourself.
Yeah.
If it were legal to take newborn babies and put them on the grinder, put them on the same way we could do with male chicks, and grind them up and use them for organic fertilizer for the organic plant industry, you wouldn't have an issue with that. You would just say take.
Yeah, I'd actually support that. I really don't like people, just personally.
Okay, just because they're
might be
human?
crazy. Yeah, I know a lot of people might think that's crazy, but yeah.
There you go. Vegan gays.
Think that all the other newborn humans don't have the right to not be chopped up to pieces?
It's aborted me. I know a lot of people might think that's crazy, but yeah.
So annoying.
But it's aborted me. I've known a lot of people too with this is just my own bias, but yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would just be better off dead.
Well, Richard, just because you would have, let's grant that you wish your parents would have aborted you. Do you now think that all the other newborn humans don't have the right to not be chopped up to pieces?
I don't know, man. I really just would rather there be far, far less people in existence.
This is it. This is the vegan ideology. They despise people. Many of them despise themselves. I mean, it's really sad. It's really sad when you see it. But these are the type of people that are leveraged by people like the fools that run the World Economic Forum. Right? These are the type of people whose ideologies can be easily leveraged by people like Bill Gates to push that agenda. I mean, these people are legitimately living in a self-imposed hell where they despise themselves. They have a worldview that tells them that they're just parts of this cosmic abortion, right? That they don't, there's no inherent meaning to it, and that they're just trapped in this material world of matter, and that world of matter can only be can only be matter. That there's nothing more than matter. Right? They deny the existence of God. They don't believe that they're made in the image and likeness of God. They got a worldview that tells them that they're just highly evolved monkeys, that they came from pond scum, that their ancestors are rats, that they share a common ancestor with bananas. This is it. And it's not just the nihilist worldview, but it's like the nutritional aspects come into play with this as well. These are people that are literally starving themselves. They're fasting for this demonic ideology that tells them that they're going to save the animals, that animals are more worthy of living than human beings. He says he's a champion for the animals, he's fighting for the animals, but then says he wants to see little babies put in blenders.
Are you okay with doing it to baby animals?
No.
Okay, name the trait.
Less annoying.
Less annoying.
Yeah.
So
We got somebody in the chat right now. Jamie Ford says, when I was vegan, I felt the same way. Wish I didn't exist. Now that I eat meat, I want to live. How crazy is this? How the nutritional component, right? It's not like meat is, it's like you cannot live by bread alone, right? But when you starve yourself, when you completely starve yourself for the animals, you're miserable. And these people are living that out. We got Jamie in the chat over there on YouTube. This is how he felt. Now that he eats meat, he wants to live. Right? There's a huge nutritional component to many cases of depression, anxiety. And then studies on violent criminals. On average, they have very low cholesterol. Low cholesterol is associated with more risky behavior, risk-seeking behavior, self-destructive behavior.
What is it about the humans that are annoying to you that the animals are not?
I don't know.
What about the baby humans?
Yeah, honestly,
is it the sound of their cry?
I actually have a fear of children. I think it's called pedophobia, where I'm actually terrified of children. It's one of my biggest fears. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's not a great justification, obviously.
Oh, it's one of the worst justifications you could possibly come up with. But
yeah. So again, these are the great vegan, the sages of veganism. All right, we got this other video here.
You think we should? So you're saying we should kill the wolves and all the deer? All the wolves, all the lions, all the predators, and then.
Yeah. This video is perhaps.
Yeah, so I guess he's arguing for killing wild animals as well, killing the killing off predators, which is, again, something that we've covered. This is not something new. This is nothing new. Transhumanists like Benjamin Pierce of the Humanity Plus. Let me pull up his image here. Benjamin Pierce from Humanity Plus. Benjamin Pierce is a transhumanist. I'm sorry, David Pierce. David Pierce, Humanity Plus, the World Transhumanist Association. He is an animal rights advocate. He's a vegan activist. And he says that we need to abolish all suffering. We need to abolish all suffering, and we need a post-Darwinian transition where we stop suffering. A World Without Suffering, interview of David Pierce. This dude believes that we should stop all suffering by getting rid of predators and reprogramming all of the natural world as he sees it. He wants to stop all animal suffering by, this is legitimately what he says, he wants to get rid of all animals. He wants to reprogram them. Full abolitionism for all of nature. This is how satanic these people are. They believe that their will, through their rearrangement of everything, that's how the ultimate end result of veganism is this. This is the vegan worldview. You should reprogram all wild animals. You should get rid of all predators and teach them to actually not be predators anymore. David Pierce, Reprogramming Predators, Blueprint for a Cruelty-Free World. The total amount of suffering per year in the natural world is beyond all decent contemplation. Suffering, right? So this assumption that suffering is bad. Suffering bad. Everything suffers. Get rid of everything. Suffering doesn't exist. Therefore, no suffering. All existence is good, right? It's really, it's insane. So he says, during the minute that it takes me to compose this sentence, thousands of animals are being eaten alive. Others are running for their lives, whimpering with fear. Others are being slowly devoured from within by rasping parasites. Thousands of all kinds are dying of starvation, thirst, and disease. It must be so. Richard Dawkins, River out of Eden. But David Pierce says this need not be so. He has the blueprint for a cruelty-free world. Yeah, these people are freaking insane. These people are nuts. Here's David Pierce right here. Started the World Transhumanist Association, rebranded as Humanity Plus. They're going to update humanity. Now, he calls his worldview the hedonistic imperative, and he says it's a moral obligation to work towards towards abolishing the suffering of all sentient life. All sentient. He can't define suffering. He can't define sentience, but he's going to abolish it all. Abolish all suffering. So he's got this manifesto called the Hedonistic Imperative. He wants to use pharmacology, genetic engineering, nanotech, and neurosurgery to eliminate all forms of unpleasant experience from human and non-human life. I mean, this is the god of guys like Vegan Gains, yeah? The god of... This is YouTube channel, Carnism Debunked. But this guy, they won't cite this guy. They'll act like these are new ideas that they came up with. But he's been talking about this since, what was that, 2005? Or was it 95? 1995. He's been talking about this since 1995. They're a useful idiot vegan activists. They're catching up now.
And for many of you, it won't be a comfortable watch. But this is a topic that we absolutely need to have a discussion about going forward. Vegan Gains thinks that we should kill predatory animals, such as lions, hyenas, crocodiles, and so on. Now, why is this significant? And why am I doing a video about it? You see, Vegan Gains is one of the largest animal rights presences on the internet. And him holding this viewpoint, which he actually has animal rights-based explanations for, is a potential game changer in the way we discuss animal rights as a movement.
Oh, this is for the animals. The animals. We're going to stop the suffering of the animals.
Monumental shift in thought came for Richard, that's Vegan Gains, After a discussion with fellow vegan YouTuber Dr. Avi, a keen philosophy buff, who managed to convince him,
Dr. Avi,
albeit very uncomfortably for Richard, that this is what we have an obligation to do as people who supposedly care about animal suffering. Since then, Richard has been vocal about this idea on several occasions.
Again, these people, they don't believe that there's any moral imperative, that morality is strictly subjective. But this is their moral imperative, to redefine and reimagine all of creation, which they believe is just a giant cosmic aborted accident. They redefine all of nature, redefine everything, and reprogram it all according to their own will, because they don't like so-called suffering, which, again, they can't define, measure, or actually explain why it's wrong in their worldview.
Most recently in his discussions with That Vegan Teacher and Slightly Crazy Vegan, which I'll link below. So, killing carnivorous and omnivorous animals such as lions, bears and sharks sounds crazy, right? Well, it's not as crazy as it sounds.
Oh, well, as a vegan, we should do it. So it starts out as vegan for the animals. How do you help the animals? By eliminating all the animals. We have to genocide all the animals.
Dr. Avi had to have a really solid argument in order to convince Richard of this. The logic goes as follows.
Super good argument.
You may feel some cognitive dissonance as a result of hearing this. Say there were a predatory alien beast roaming around who had to kill and eat humans.
Oh, say you're an alien. Say you're a predatory alien beast, like this alien from a Hollywood movie. It's a moral imperative for you as an alien to stop the suffering of the animals by killing the humans. Oh? Again, these people, they say that morality is just subjective. Whenever you talk to these people, very important to ask them if they, what is morality, right? They're talking about moral imperatives. They're talking about ethical necessities. This is how we have to do things. This is what we must do. So it's a moral imperative to do something. How do we determine what a moral imperative is, right? They're assuming that right and wrong exists, right? But then if you ask them, is morality subjective or objective? They will tell you that morality is subjective. They believe it's subjective so that there actually is no moral imperative. There is no moral imperative, but here's a moral imperative that I'm going to claim requires us to reorganize all of life. Because what? Because what? Oh, because of this subjective moral statement that I'm making. I believe morality is subjective, they say. It's self-refuting. Morality is subjective, yet they make moral imperative. They make it a moral imperative, rather, to actually go stop all suffering. Well, what is suffering? Why is it bad? Why is suffering bad? These people are saying that all animals are suffering. How are they going to stop suffering? This guy, David Pierce, he says he's going to stop suffering by total control. Pharmacology, genetic engineering, nanotechnology, and neurosurgery, right? This is like Jose Delgado, MK Ultra, Elon Musk, Neuralink. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to Neuralink all the animals. We'll kill all the animals, but don't worry. We'll first upload their digital clones into a simulation. This is like how it's so twisted. It makes zero sense. It doesn't make any sense at all, but it doesn't need to make sense for these people. It doesn't need to make sense to them because their worldview claims that nothing should make sense anyways. There's not even objective truth to these people. Of course, they live like there is objective truth. Of course, they live like there is objective morality. And of course, they claim it's subjective, but then they want to push it onto all of creation. They want to push it on everybody, not just people, animals as well. In a complete restructuring of everything using GMO, nanotech, or genetically engineering animals, right? Using pharmacology, that means drugging them, neurosurgery, mutilating them so that their sensory perceptive organs are modified, right? Modifying those sensory perceptive organs with genetic engineering, or simply eliminating them. Right? So he says they need to eliminate all forms of unpleasant experience from human and non-human life, replacing suffering with gradients of bliss. Pierce calls this the abolitionist project. It's completely insane. Completely insane. But hey, doesn't stop these people. Doesn't stop them, does it? All right, you guys who are watching on YouTube, what's going on, YouTube crew? First stream back on YouTube in a while. First stream back on YouTube in like a week and a half. Remember, we got struck. We got struck over there on YouTube. That's why we're live streaming. We're simulcasting over there on Rockfin. And hey, on Rockfin they actually support. Look at you bigots on YouTube. Zero support from YouTube bigots. We're going over there. We're jumping over there to Rockfin. We're going to jump over there to Rockfin right now. The live simulcast is happening on Rockfin. You can watch the second half of this exclusively on Rockfin. Everybody who's watching right now on YouTube, there's a link. I'll pin that link. How about that? I'll pin that link in the chat. Replacing the pin link. Second link, uncensored. Second half on Rockfin. You bigots on YouTube, what's up? What's up, bigots on YouTube? No support on YouTube. We're going over there to Rockfin. We're going to finish this off over there on Rockfin. We're going to talk about the roots of this vegan revolutionary revolution, this fake revolution, led by complete madness, self-refuting worldview, and a bunch of people who say that they despise themselves, right? These are dysphoric individuals. It's crazy. So everybody watching on Rockfin, what's up, guys? Jump over there to or everyone watching on YouTube, rather, jump over there to Rockfin. Thanks for the support for the people on Rockfin. Everyone go over there to Rockfin. You can watch for free if you're watching live right now. We're going to put this for the premium members-only content after the fact. But the Rockfin folks support. They support the stream. No support from YouTube. Zero Streamlabs from YouTube. You greedy bigots. You stingy bigots. If you like the stream, support the streams. You get more of them. Maybe I don't like the streams and don't support them. We ain't going to do them. We'll just do them over there on Rockfin. Well, the homies are always throwing down, hitting us up with them tips. Thank you, everybody over there on Rockfin, for supporting. YouTube, share the videos, like the videos. We'll be back over here. We got to be a little more careful on YouTube. Rockfin, we can say what we want. But anyways, guys, we're out of here. Thanks for watching. Share the videos, like the videos. Jump over to Rockfin, because we're done here on YouTube. I'm going to take a quick break, quick transition. We'll be right back for you folks watching on Rockfin. Be right there. Give me 2 minutes.